Finally, Monday night has come back. Good morning, good evening, and welcome to everyone in the Zoomverse. We have come back to the Monday night online open mic presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I will be your host for the evening. I am Elemen2al. Welcome everyone. Happy Monday. This is the jump off. Shout out to the song hero of our community and the new program's assistant, the one and only RMT. You down with RMT? Yeah, you know. Let's get into this business this evening, y'all. Hope everyone is feeling fantastic. I truly appreciate y'all for coming in this evening. Let's get to it. We have been doing this for 141 weeks now. Where you been? We do this every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you are watching on any one of these platforms and you would like to join us in the Zoom, the number is on your screen right now. It is 279-995-364. Please do come and join in, interact with the poets and the community. Trust me, it is a different experience inside the Zoom. All right. We do this thanks to the help of some really, really dedicated folks who pay these bills. So we would like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for hosting our free online events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by checking into neweurekan.org/contribute or by hitting the Cash App at $New Eurekan Poets Cafe. All right, this week our theme is National Ding-a-ling Day. I know it sounds really crazy, right? I had to look it up myself, but it actually is the day of the year that you reach out and reconnect with someone that you used to talk to on a regular basis, but now don't talk to at all. So ding-a-ling as in ring-a-ling, as in reconnect with folks. All right. So I'm looking forward to hearing what folks have in store for the theme this evening. Next week the theme is giving back. Always a touchy subject. But then after that, it is the naughty list. So we shall see who brings it. If your poem is not on theme this evening, it is totally cool. We are still very much looking forward to hearing what everyone is bringing to share this evening. All right. Of course, the normal host is feeling a little bit under the weather, but I am more than happy to take care of this circus this evening. You can find him at Advocate of Words with a Z, because hip hop, poetic license, that dude. I am Elemental the Poet. You can find me on IG or elemental.com. Take the T out, put in the number 2. Let's get into the rules, folks. Listen, turn your camera on, all right? We want to see your expression. We want to see your vivid focus and all of the energy that you give into performing your poem, all right? We want to see your beautiful faces, and we want to try to create as much of a in-person open mic as we possibly can. Plus, for voyeurism's sake, we want to see if you clean your room. So please turn your camera on as you get ready to rip. Poets, please have your poems ready. All right. If you're going analog style, have the book open, dog ear the page. If you're going digital, please have the file open. We want to make sure that we get to everyone this evening, even though we will have some extra time this evening. All right. So poets, tonight I will give you a few extra minutes. All right. We'll go 30 seconds over, right? Try not to go into the 5s, but we'll go a little bit, maybe over, maybe 3.5 this evening. All right. Also, make sure you're giving yourself a 30-minute intro. Let the folks know where they can find you, what you have going on in the near future, so people can plug in. All right. This place is all about community, and that's what we do here. Make sure that you're connecting with folks that you don't know, you may know. Make sure you're plugging into our community and what we do. All right. Realize the founders of the New Eurekan Poets Cafe were very, very big proponents on freedom of speech. Therefore, there is no censorship. It is now clearly night 30 for all the babies, because some of our poets in our community will use some spicy language, okay? But also some of the poets in our community will use some very vulnerable language, all right? And flashbacks can be very, very triggering. So you have been warned. There is no censorship beyond hatred or any ism that people will use to exploit or manipulate people. That will not be tolerated. Other than that, there is no censorship. Thou hast been warned. All right. This is truly a call and response space. You will hear some things this evening that poets are opening their veins and sharing their work with you. Once they are done spilling, you will see this pop up on your screen. Unmute yourself and respond. Give them all of that energy that they have shared with you. Make sure you are returning that in this space. Give them all the love that they deserve. Listen, I don't care about your neighbors. It's Monday night, baby. It's poetry. You know how we do. Okay, seriously, it is a call and response. This is not easy what we do, no matter if it's on a real stage or on a virtual stage. It's really not easy what we do. So make sure you're giving the poets the energy and the love that they deserve. All right. Sign up tonight is closed. Sign up begins 24 hours before the open mic, which would be Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You go to newyourekan.org. You want to click on full events calendar. You want to click on the Monday that you're signing up for. You want an artist RSVP ticket. Again, an artist RSVP ticket. That's how you get on the guaranteed list. From there, you'll be good to go. Make sure you do it in time, because things do happen. If you're in the area and you want to get down with the slam, if you're about those scores, there's Wednesday night poetry slam happening inside the cafe, hosted by Advocate of Words. Listen, the slam is a major monstrous space. If you're about that life, make sure you check in. The New Eurekan Poets Cafe is about that life as well. Also, want to mention the anthology that is coming. Shout out Jessica for interning, for doing what she does and all the work that she's putting in. Also, want to plug the Let's Write a Book of Poems that Advocate hosts on Sundays. It is still popping off. I know this weekend he wasn't able to do it. Hopefully, we all send prayers to Advocate and he gets better very soon. All right, tonight's list. We see some of the usual suspects on this list. Okay, we know who these usual suspects are, and we are absolutely looking forward to what is going down this evening. Plus, I have been informed that there is a collab brewing. Oh my goodness, you ain't ready, but it's going down anyway. All right, so you've heard me enough. Let's get to the poetry. I will post the list in the chat. Starting us off this evening is a man that we normally say that our normal host would say is a bard amongst poets. This gentleman has a tendency to raise the IQ in every room that he finds himself in because his pen stays sharp as a samurai sword. Please, everyone, show your love one time for the one and only Mr. Tessa Somo. Time for our Tez Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Please, Mr. Tez, let us know where we can find you. You have 3.5 minutes to rock, sir. Let's get down.
All right, thank you, sir. You can catch me on Instagram under Gashes 2019. I posted my latest book and the link to it. Please get a copy, give a copy to your friends, and I'm going to jump in because I got a hot potato for you guys. Meta discourse. Meta discourse is a fact of everyday life. This is not an illusory bait for coherence and comprehension. The polysemic semiotic symbol can produce 3 types of neuroses: hysteria, obsession, and anxiety, kind of like a homeowners association, HOA. Language, by its incompleteness, is a special social symbolic system. Language, a 2-sided minion conceived in the entrails of materialism as the sign, but pragmatically articulated as a sanguine, sagnified, and stratifying signifiers. Beyond the primal horde of Kantian totalizing linguistics imperialism and its reductive nativist essentialism, that opposites can subordinate and sublimate under a unitary single object, something neurotics with a simple philological criticism dispel as mirages. The shackled chains of erasure remove presuppositions that language is the precondition of the unconscious, but rather the unconscious is a precondition for linguistics. The incorporeal signifier sheds its stoic grounding in the materialism of the signified, and butterflies ungrounded, empty, lacking for attachment. The trickster, cynical signifier, sometimes grasped as an abstract entity, gutturalized into phonemes, maybe grasped as a concrete entity, once articulated into sound. The signifier of external perception, the dominance of the letter in its double discourse as the discursive signifier, the unconscious of discourse. The strange simulacra of language is that it has no perceptible entities at the outset, yet it will not permit nor doubt they must exist because they constitute it. We bestow our mental health on the faith of meta language, the same regime of signification that has rendered us imperceptible at the onset, but insists we exist. At some back alley, thrash-strewn ghettos, syntagmatic, transphrasic social domain, some minor, enunciative, muffled meta-discourse. The antithetical existence to remain locked in the domain of meta-language, always vulnerable to the two antithetical signifieds, none of which we have receipts for. Meta-discourse, which must not be confused by the trauma-porn poet as the meta-language of representation, confront us with a series of proposed processes which are ordered in sequences in which the word must take its place. If you are working your trauma, don't get caught in the linguistic game of the real. The real, in fact, is attached by a piece of string to the child's hand. The semiotic discontinuity, the presence, absence, alternation, the disappearance, return. Meta language, by making distant or bringing closer the toy which remains attached, lets it be known that it is master of the situation. And
Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mr. Tez.
Great. What a way to start off, Ted. Just great.
No digging in here, I'll tell you that.
Oh my goodness, Mr. Tez, I appreciate you for setting us off this evening in a way that only you can, with that meta language that you always bring to us. I truly appreciate you. Listen, this dude plugs in so much. Listen, that dude's speaking some serious matrix language, man. If you've never heard of simulacra and simulation, plug in. That cat talks a lot about it. As I mentioned, always raising the IQ in the room. Mr. Tezasomo, make sure you're giving that cat a follow. He will always enlighten you. All right, coming up next is a true, there he is, of course he's here, a true Lower East Sider, the one and only Jedi Master, who the normal host always lets us know has more claim to fame to this space than we do. I am thankful to always share space with this incredible poet and all they do. They are truly in tune and ingrained into this space. Please, everyone, put your hands on the screen. Give it up for the one and only Jedi Master, Paul Skiff. Let us know where we can find you. Please bless us this evening.
Cool. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Just since I'm following Tezasomo and I'm before Ray Jane, I know that everybody's intensity factor is going to be more than satisfied. So I'm just going to do 3 short things, kind of low impact. Switch up my screenshot because the first 2 have kind of, images that go with them. Let's see here. Protest from the centuries. La Heroica, the year in which, out of self-respect, your people chose to starve to death rather than submit to the imperialists. I hear it in the collective voices of your students on the avenue today. Galaxy of timeless voices expand an astonishing sound, chanting, Puta, 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 Presidente Duque, Presidente Duque, Presidente Duque, puta, puta, puta. In the blood of your people, oppression and slavery find no host. In the spirit of your people, resistance and freedom procreated generations of the liberated through centuries. Undaunted, they are the culture that will rescue themselves. And the second piece is coming up here momentarily. And this is in the Bay of Grace. La Heroica, you live for turning day, soul border, skyline, field of sanguine transitions upon your brow. De antiguo y ya, day and night intermingle like your people have through centuries. Sky, the quiet heart, either or suspended, yesterday and tomorrow in their love throw pause, now performs a miracle dance, gold red, indigo purple, and we admire this moment of suspension at the height of your gorgeous eternity leap. Love's listening hour, floating in our blood hush. And the last piece, another short piece. It's a moment. Let's get back to normal here. And coming up, see if I can get this in front of me. All right. New York City, I will not name the times you tried to kill me and then kill me again. Let us just say your constant rabid antagonisms are a severe environmental condition, and I did not enter you fearing or with a plan to live long. With one foot on this earth when I arrived to get lost and surf your adverse gravities, pedestrian motives of blunt criminality, teeter of mundane lethal risks, hungering prosaic jeopardy, and the routine inhumane consequences are raw waves of force that underneath my life propel wild persistence I still balance my permanence upon. A congratulation smothering your malevolent affection. Each new day I conduct my equilibrium of joy.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for Paul Skill. Oh my gosh. What the, oh.
Yes, so
Amazing,
good.
Paul.
Oh man, I missed
Great.
that.
Skip first never
Missed that
disappoints.
so much.
I don't know. You know what? This dude, like, he never ceases to manipulate the force in a way that only happens in the skiff verse. Right? That cat said, okay, now back to our regularly scheduled normal. Now back to normal. Like, come on. Who does that? The one and only Paul Skiff. Make sure you're giving that dude a follow. Paul Skiff is the one and only Skiff Graham. Listen, that dude is amazing all the time. Every time he plugs in, truly appreciate you. All right, folks. Listen, there are a few people in our community that you have to be aware of, right? The storm force season is in effect. We have a resident storm goddess. She is the host of our Thursday night online open mic we like to call Monday nights the circus. She is the host of Therapy Thursdays, also known as Thunder Lung Thursdays. Listen, get your life on Thursday night. If you need something else that happens for you later on in the week, listen, that is the perfect place. You can bring your music, you can bring your comedy, you can bring whatever you want in there. There is such a menagerie of incredible artists that happen on Thursday night. Please plug in. This is your incredible host. But tonight, she is gracing us with an incredible collab that I cannot believe is happening, but I am ready 100% for. Please, Thunderlung and incredible associate, the one and only Miss Diane Ward, please let us know where we can follow you and find you, and please grace us with your presence.
Greetings. Shout out to you, Elemental, and the community. So blessed to share screen with the queen herself, Diane Ward. I am at It's Ray Jane. That's RAYJANE. And Diane reached out to me wanting to collaborate on something to lift you all, to keep you encouraged, to use this queen energy for good. So we're not exactly on the theme, but we hope that you can feel it. All right. You ready, Diane?
Yes, my dear.
All right. Let's do it.
This is titled, Don't Fear Your Thoughts. I thought. Don't deny your right to space. Feel that breathe and relate to self, to one, to none, but know that you are a gifted, blessed soul, my lovely one. Your mind significant, your mind imbued with light and dark, and spirit with clues. I thought if you wanted to share, don't fear. Don't fear your thoughts. I want to hear what makes your bones crack, what makes you cry and then full-blown weep. I want to learn how I can help. You can too if you just admit that you think. Don't deny your right to think. Have faith and see it all. I thought. Write it down.
We are our thoughts, living first in our minds, exploring how sometimes our perspectives bind. Here is your permission. Free your mind. Let the contents of you find reasons to taste the air. Give yourself space, the grace to unfold into what you were meant to be. Reject all forms of boundary. Your arms stretching, possibilities release.
Feel my trust in you. I need to hear your words before I go on. Blend my trust with yours, dear, dear poet. Onward to your truth, onward to use your voice, no longer silent, rustling under your skin. Allow yourself, your poem, to breathe and take flight within this air's element so we can share your words, your assessment, your inkling, your being. Trust. Feel my trust in your being. And when you trust your own being, continue undaunted and unafraid, dear power. Cry for joy becoming free forever.
We are here, waiting for you, to reject the lies you have been telling you. True, not all will offer you love, so speak. Offering it to yourself, so speak. Unafraid of your own abundance, so speak. Despite what you are told, consider yourself the breaking of another's yoke. Think of the thoughts your bravery will provide, the gall, the brazenness to open violently against what ensnares. No, dear, we have no scorecards here, just seeds preparing beneath the sun. Here, we all start at one.
Own your birthright. Children of fire, children of mystery, holders of knowledge, so scripted within your DNA. Others fear our truth. Our OUR is within your You are our lives, and their syntax and language betrays them. Translate for all you know. You cannot erase, remove the R from an ease. The R for reality, historical reality, and yes, our personifications are real, and our reason for expression is to remind the world I look and I am in every reality. You're their elders.
All of us. A good gumbo of our ancestors. A mix, each generation providing a fix, a balm in the collective Gilead. We remedy, we fix, vaporizing our own mind's tricks, rubbing our healing into our solar plexus, our permission to become a nexus, escaping hand in hand, jumping out the mouth, standing firm when tested. Life's wind blowing, with our truth we steady, resolute, vested. Take shelter beneath the trees your wisdom already erected, and let no fear make you forget this. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Ray Jane.
Thank you.
Thank you, creative. Thank
Thank
you.
you for being with me. What a pleasure and an honor.
If you have breath in your body,
Great.
unmute yourself.
Yes.
Give it
What
up
an
for these
incredible
So
queens.
wonderful.
Oh,
Giving
man.
so
That
inspiring. Thank you so much.
was just fantastic.
Beautiful.
Oh, man.
I
What
love
a show.
You don't get to hear two poets like that work together anywhere else.
Okay, Michael Sandler. Okay, tell him. Listen, first of all, these are two incredible members of our communities, two incredible mainstays of our community. And I do not appreciate either of them for stealing the air from both of my lungs. Like I usually have one, but they stole it from both of them. I appreciate all of your incredible artistry, your fearlessness in the way that you approach poetry, and the divinity that just comes across in everything that both of you do. Thank you so very much for being mainstays of our community. We truly, truly appreciate you. All right. I am not going to ask anyone necessarily to follow that. So let me shout out a couple of folks who are in the room who didn't necessarily sign up this evening, but came to share their energy. The one and only DG Clearing is in the building. Listen, that cat is into so many things. Make sure you're plugging into DG. He is so much a mainstay of our community. Denisha is back. She is I believe she has gotten bitten by the bug. She continues to come through every Monday night. We are hoping to hear more of her work sometime soon. Professor Platinum is in the building. Listen, Doug Silver always comes through with some incredible work every time he decides to share it with us. I truly appreciate you. Listen, there's a few other folks in the building, but we may end up hearing from a few more of them before the night is over. So let's get to it. Listen, the next poet coming up, I've experienced their work in multiple spaces. Listen, they've even rocked out on Hybrid, rocked out at the after party, and they continue to just tear it apart in every line that they rip, brought their family into it. Listen, I truly appreciate this poet for all that they have brought to our community since coming in, a new mainstay of our community. Give it up for the one and only Christy Scribbles. Let the community know where they can find you. The mic is yours, please.
Hello, lovely creatives, poets, Elemental. Just excited to be here. Yeah, that last collab, woo, just got me going. Okay, anyway, and all the other poets, but you know, my heart. Okay, yes, you can find me at the Poetry Alchemist. I am a channel, I am an energy worker, and I believe, you know, in the power of words, the power of art, and the power of community. And I believe us being here together tonight, Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and whenever creatives get together, I believe it changes the world. And I believe our work is important. And yeah, so this is a piece I wrote today. It is very rough, so please forgive its rough edges. Here it goes. The fortress of my making, balled up inside my walls, the drawbridge so thick, with the mucky moat in motion around me, keeps churning around me the sound of the liquid, so gross, so thick, so murky, so deep. I sit inside my castle, unable to see any way out. How can I get out when no one can get in? My mind starts to spin as I shut my eyes, to shut it all out, to shut it all away as the world dims and my mind spins. I am taken to a far off place, this space of my sanctuary that holds the truth of my soul, this space of my whole that sits inside my chest. As I find my way here and things start to clear, the clearing of a meadow rolls out before me. It is of my making inside of my awakening into the inner me. And as I cross the threshold, the portal of sorts, the sky lights up and so many hues surround me. And the fortress I sit in no longer holds me in, and expansion expands before me. And the possibility of everything implores me to take a breath. Take a breath, I hear as I turn to see her. The her that is me, that is her, my higher her, that is she, that she was, that she's forever. And as my head turns, my whole world turns into the technicolor coat that coats this place, and I see her face, and I see her colors, and I see the possibility inside me. Her hair so rainbow, and her eyes so blue, the badass of her, of me, of you, and she smiles as she glides across the meadow now. And I know somehow I will never be the same. I ask, what is your name? What is your name? And she grins and she laughs and she grabs my hand. I am Kai. I am Kai, the you that is I, that is all, that is the everything. It is here that I bring the news of the views of the expansion of the way you may see it. See it to believe it and be ready to receive it is all that you must do today. Come and play in the meadow of us and let's fly and see what it looks like from up above. As I feel her hand within mine, I know the touch of the divine as we take off to the rainbow's arch. The wind in our hair and me so aware of the feeling of the flying of love. Yes, she is of me, and the truth we can see as we soar over ourselves and this place. We see it all clear in the meadow so dear that sits inside me right now. This view is so new, but so ancient and so true, and this flight was always meant to be taken, always meant to find me inside me, to guide me out of the fortress I built around me. And as I close my eyes to enjoy the ride, the wind around me shifts so suddenly. The energy, it changes, and reality rearranges, and I find myself back inside the fortress of my own making. As my eyes adjust, and knowing it must have been real because she was so me. She was so me in my place of sanctuary, and I know the drawbridge has been released. I stand up with a must and a strength with a gust, and I walk out of the fortress of my own making. I wink with my eye and blow a kiss of goodbye, knowing that Kai lives on inside me. I look to the walls and the bridge of the draw, and with a fist in the air I proclaim, you will not hold me, you will not control me, not today, not this way, not this time. I am of me, and the light sets me free as the sanctuary gives me my wings. I fly, and never will I die inside the fortress of my own making. Thank you.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for Chris.
Oh, that was
Yes,
beautiful.
beautiful, Christine.
Beautiful.
Good job.
Say that.
Yeah.
My goodness. Listen, the state of being to say the you that is I. I love that looking in that mirror, right? She said your job is to be ready to receive it, right? Again, as our community, as a community member, that is our job. Thank you, Scribbles, for reminding us of that. As I mentioned in the intro, when you see that pop up, that is what it's about, is making sure you give that energy back. Thank you, Christy. We truly appreciate you. Make sure you are giving them a follow, a mainstay of our community. Whew. Yeah, man, this community just, like the Queen Ray Jane likes to say on Thursdays, like, y'all make this easy for me, man. Like, y'all just make this thing pop, right? All I got to do is bubble. Y'all make it pop. Coming up next is a master of the bubble and trouble. Listen, this cat, I've had the pleasure of getting down with this cat in person, and let me tell you all, this cat is just as smooth in real life as he is in the Zoomverse. The one and only Complicated Passions. Listen, this brother's a beast. Let the folks know where they can find you and the plethora of things that you have going on. The stage is yours, please, brother. Blessings.
Good evening, and thank you. You can find me on IG as dark_man_blues. My website is darkmanblues.com. You can find me on Amazon as Samuel Rain Benjamin. And on Mondays, you can find me right here at the Norican Poets Cafe. All right, so check it out. Her name is Freedom. And like the wind, she's the unbound echoes of my next breath. The sounds of her, a never-ending taste of humanity, the world I drink from when I hunger for existence. She resonates at the end of my beginning, the edge of what I have become when I take this pen and this reality. She is poetry, and I am complicated passions. She speaks of me as the one I'm not. Her eyes say one thing, out loud her emotions, a one-sided truth, hers. I'm thinking a beginning not new, same story from yesterday's dreams. My heart waited in the killing fears of her past. I can't rewind these thoughts. She wants to live, not letting go. She holds on, always looking back, hiding in her pain, a place where the sun doesn't shine. It's been a while. It felt like forever. The last time I was on this mic, I shared the imaginings of a poet, those thoughts people dream of and never live. A conversation of whispers and now moments, tempted by a smile. These eyes spoke, come inside. I got next. Once was not enough. She would be chapters unread. I told her, you smell like poetry. Now, you have reached complicated passions. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. Please listen carefully as our menu has changed. If at any time you would like to hear the passion, please press 5683 for love. Gold card members may enter their code now. Please hold while your call is being connected. And for the moments of your desire, have the sexy in you be the danger I fall into. Your wanting will be everything. I'll have your love without speaking. As the caress of my lips tempts you, find yourself on the verge of romanticism. These words are meant to fill your imagination. This is the moment erotica begins, when your thoughts become the pleasures of your surrender, finding me at the edge of your hunger. You'll want this episode to begin. From this melodic passion, I will steal your heart away. The coming of your love will be an eruption that has no end. Once you give in, yes, I am complicated passions, the voice behind this pen. Thank you.
Give it up for the one and only Dark Man.
Whoa.
Always great to hear you. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's behind this pen.
CP, are you with me?
All day, all day.
I'm telling you, listen, man. That dude, he never fails. Like, honestly, like I said, that dude is just as smooth in real life, right? Whether her name is Freedom or she smells like poetry, that cat will probably serenade her into poetry. He is amazing at every angle that I've seen him do his thing. We appreciate you. Hopefully, as he mentioned, you can find him here on Monday nights, plug into Dark Man Blues. He's got a million things going on. We appreciate you. All right. Coming up next is another mainstay of our community. It has been a minute since I've seen this guy back into on a Monday night. But listen, I tell the story because I will always have so much love and appreciation for this poet because he put me in the room with an absolute legend, which is Nikki Giovanni. I truly appreciate you for all that you do and every ounce of work that you contribute to our community. The one and only Michael Sindler. Please let everyone know where they can find you and follow you. The floor is yours, sir.
Hey, thanks. It is just unbelievably great to be back. I mean, after it's been months since I've been here, and I am just going to, as usual, put this up here for lighthousewriters.org, which is just such a great organization, no matter what kind of writing you're doing or, you know, what you want out of it. There's just something going on, classes, workshops, and also a lot of things as far as events. They have a regular thing, Queer Creatives, and another regular thing, Writing in Color, that are every month. That are way worth checking out. But, you know, again, just cannot recommend them highly enough. Yeah, haven't been away. These aren't necessarily on theme, but what the hey, even though I've got bunches of stuff because I've been gone for months, I'll read new stuff. This first one is called Safe Being You. You do not have to wait until you learn compassion for yourself to practice compassion for others. You do not have to have perfect compassion for others to start having compassion for yourself. You do not have to agree with loved ones to agree that you should love them. You do not have to put up with toxic loved ones just because you are supposed to love them. You do not have to chalk up your history as failure to move past history you still cling on to. You do not have to let go of what is tender to let go of what burns or cuts you. You do not have to be what you were told that you are to be what you see is true. You do not have to let fear guide you for you to arrive at feeling safe being you. And this next one is called Listen. I wrote both of them one right after the other. Before assuming you are right, it is good to listen. Before starting a fight, it's good to listen. Before love fades away, it is good to listen. Before you stray or betray, it is good to listen. Before you set fire to your bed, it is good to listen. Before you crawl up inside your head, it is good to listen. Before you break your vow, it's good to listen. Before you forget how, it's good to listen. Before you lose what makes a home, it is good to listen. Before you end up alone, it is good to listen. Do I have time for one more, Shorty? Okay. This is a found poem. It's called Page 99 for Melville D. 158.8. We started to chat. Apparently, it wasn't going that well. 204.2. I can look at any fear I've ever had. It will look differently to me in this light. 332.024. You have likely singled out and begun to challenge. I encourage you to continue working. 418.4071. We want the recording in our heads, read to answer, read to answer, read to answer, to get unstuck. 576.939. It's a desert world, but don't think tundra. I'm using the term habitable zone reluctantly. 641.5954. A pinch of flour sizzles when it meets the surface. process until a fine powder forms. 792.7028. That's a story for another day, my precious. Don't forget to moan like you're actually enjoying yourself. 808.6669. Look for lesser known places with appealing quirks. It's a risky business. 956.9405. An obscenely misleading way to describe disposal of a still smoking murder weapon. Opponents never call it anything else. 158.8. I don't think I've ever felt so much like I had been slapped without being touched in my life. Okay, thank y'all.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for Michael Sindler.
Stuff, Michael.
Great.
Always enjoy hearing you.
Every time. Y'all go to lighthousewriters.org.
Okay, Ray. Listen, you know how what Advocate says, right? There's only a few excuses for not being a part of our community on Monday nights. Either you're writing the next great novel, or you're doing some great things in a horizontal position, or some other positions that some other book may have written. You know what I mean? KNS. Whatever you have done, I appreciate the fact that you have stayed inside your poetry wheelhouse and continue to write incredible poetry. Thank you for always being our contributor and our plug for the lighthousewriters.org. We truly appreciate all the energy that you conjure for our community. Thank you very much, Michael Sindler. Make sure you're plugging in with that cat. He's always incredible and always on point. All right. So for the folks who may have come in late, let's go ahead and get into a little bit more business. Again, we do this every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. If you would like to join us in the Zoom, the number's on the screen, 279-995-364. As I mentioned, it truly is a different world in the Zoomverse. Make sure you are giving our normal host a follow, Advocate of Words with a Z, poetic license. He is under the weather. Make sure you're sending good energy and good vibes to him so he can get better soon. Sign up. Again, if you're looking to get on the microphone, you need to get on the guaranteed list. How do you get on the guaranteed list? Signups happen 24 hours before the open mic, which would be Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern. The artist RSVP tickets don't even populate until 8 p.m. Eastern. All right, you go to neweurekan.org, click on the full events calendar. You want to click on the Monday night that you're signing up for. And again, you need an artist RSVP ticket in order to get on the guaranteed list. All right. If you're in the area, because this only happens in the cafe, the brick and mortar, there is a Wednesday night slam. All right. Listen, they truly get down. If you've ever been in the slam environment, it is truly a place of serious, intense poetry. I love that space, man. So if you're in the area, please plug into it. It is hosted by Advocate of Words. Also, I do believe the Women's Orator Wednesdays happens too. Shout out to the First Lady of Monday Nights, who is also a DJ that gets down on the ones and twos. Also, let's not forget about the anthology that is brewing, right? The Let's Write a Book of Poems workshop that Advocate continues to host. And we also saw the host of our Thursday night installment, which is Ray Jane, the Queen Thunder Lung Thursdays. Listen, it is truly a space that you can really get out your feelings. Again, we call Monday night the circus, but Thursday is really therapy. You will really, one of our community members mentioned it was like Guitar Thursday, I believe, or Guitar Vibe Thursday. It really is that space. So plug in to Thursday nights, truly. All right. I want to make a correction on what I mentioned earlier, because I'm getting ready to hand it off to the incredible new program associate, the one and only RMT. Let me correct myself. I mentioned Jasmine earlier. She's the program assistant. Please forgive me for for mispronouncing your name. It was all wrong. However, right now we are going to the sung hero of our community. And listen, make sure you shower this dude with love. He is the one and only RMT, the new program associate. Please, Ron, take it away.
Thank you so much, Elemen2al. You know, I usually don't care much about titles. I'm just Ron Mark, happy to help out, and especially on those days when Advocate can make it. It's such a pleasure to work with you, Elemen2al. We're such a team, you and Paul I've been working with, with karaoke and other programs. So I really appreciate, helping out our community as much as possible. And on that note, I do want to mention, you mentioned all these great regular programs that we're hosting at the New Eureka Poets Cafe. We will continue our online open mics throughout the holidays. So don't let, everyone, please, the day after Christmas Day and the day after New Year's Day, come on here, bring your family with you, zoom in, and, we'll continue to do our things here. Also, I do want to mention there are a few more in-person events coming up at the cafe, including this Saturday at 8 p.m. Saturday, December 17th. And I may not be pronouncing it correctly, but it's called Dandole, which is a birthday showcase and fundraiser. It happens to be Nico Diaz. Talking about title, his title is the personal assistant to the executive director, Labua. I hope I got that right. And it's his birthday. He will be hosting a fundraiser for the cafe. The ticket price all goes to the cafe, to improve, to reconstruct, to fund our programs. And I want to give a shout out because Paul Concasso happens to be one of the featured performers this Saturday. I'm looking forward to see you on this side of the ocean again, Paul, really looking forward. Labua herself will be performing. Destiny, our WOW, Women's Orator Wednesdays host, as Elemen2al mentioned. Also, Gabriel Ramirez and Espada de la Luz, which I believe, oh wow, that's Labua's daughter, yay. And House of Us, which if anyone in the audience here came to our block party back in July, I think, so June, July, Paul remembers them, that they were a pretty good dance, company though. So they will be there as well. I'm looking forward to see all of you guys this Saturday, 8 p.m. Tickets can be found. Go to newregan.org and click on a full events calendar, just as Elemen2al told you. All right, you did not come here to listen to me. You wanted to listen to all the wonderful performers. On the list, Elemen2al and I have next Marsha Rivera. I do not see you in Zoom. If you are listening or watching us via YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, come on back in Zoom. We'll still get you on the list. No worries. Next on our list, Gustav unfortunately had to bow out. Something urgent came up. Gustav, we really appreciate. We hope to see you next week, which means we're going to go to Mark Colby. Mark, I'm going to ask you to unmute. Mark, I do remember your name popping up in Zoom last week, and correct me if I'm wrong. I may be wrong, but would today be your first time performing with us, or have you been with the New Eureka Poets Cafe before?
I did one performance at the New Eureka in like 1995-ish.
Okay, and that's just 5 years ago, so it's not that long.
And that was with Three Bean Stew as a backup jazz fusion band. So they used to have an event where there would be like a backup band, and then you could read, and that was probably the one of the highlights of my poetry reading ever. It was a very big poem, so I can't, impart that tonight. But because of, I know everyone was really looking for something cheerful because it's the holiday season, and we all, all these, we could do Jingle Bells, but my version of Jingle Bells isn't finished yet, so I don't really have any ding dong whatever to go with it. But this is a classic. I did it once before COVID hit, when it was like a really rough draft. But this is hopefully a little bit better put together. It's my version of O Little Town of Bethlehem. And here it goes. Oh, little town of pesticides, how still we see birds lie above thy deep and poison sleep. The cold dead birds don't fly, yet in our dark capitals the ever greedy fight, ego and greed of lustful need meet in hate tonight. I'm only doing 3 verses. For lies born of corporations, mass media, money, love. While people sleep, the angels weep and watch our plundering love. Media stars together proclaim death to us and earth, and chemical poisons are king, and grease to us on earth. How silently extinction gift is given. So media imparts to our hearts blessings of ruin, where corporate stands watching and leaders close their door. The hatred wakes, the oil takes, and Christmas comes once more. And I got about, well, keeping in line with that. So that leaned on a little satire. I guess I should have gave you a forewarning. It wasn't really like trying to do anything religious related. It's just environmental issues are a big topic of mine. So are many other, but you know, it's Christmas, so you know. White Christmas. I should give you a little heads up. When there's dead zones in the ocean that are getting bigger all the time because of all the runoff into the oceans, mainly from farming, which has even the fertilizer is really bad. Don't use it on your lawn, all that stuff. It causes all kinds of problems. So we have these giant dead zones, which are like white and gray. This is really short. I'm dreaming of a dead ocean, just like all the dead zones that I know, where dead gray plants glisten and children listen for death everywhere they go. I'm dreaming of a dead ocean with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and trite, and may all aquatic death be white.
Thank you, everyone. Please unmute yourself and give applause, not to so cheerful, but necessary that, you know, we had to hear. Very powerful.
Thanks for coming. It was nice to hear you.
Yes.
Well, thank you. It's very nice.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thanks for being here. Please keep coming back. Yes, you know, it's a cheerful season, but, you know, sometimes we have to be reminded of everything that's going on, you know, in the world. And hopefully we will make it better, you know, going forward. So thank you for this. You can find Mark on his website, as he has in his Zoom name, markthomascolby.com. If you are on any social media, please put it in the chat as well. Thank you again, Mark. All right, next on our list is CCR Chakra. I do not see you in Zoom. Cece, if you are watching us via one of the live streams, come on over to Zoom. If anyone is watching and wants to see us, if anyone else is watching and wants to come over to Zoom, I'm going to repeat the Zoom ID again, 279-995-364. So we're going to go then to our next performer, who he is one of the many who make our Monday and Thursday night online open mics international, and we had the pleasure. He came all the way across the ocean and came to visit us a few months ago to the New York Poets Cafe and the New York City Poetry Festival. So I'm so glad you were here there as well. I know it's late for you, but thank you so much for staying up, for blessing us with your presence. Landon, you know how it goes. Let everyone know where we can find you, where we can get your book, and where I know you're going to feature soon. You already put that in the chat earlier, I saw that. And then go ahead, your 3.5 minutes are all yours.
Thank you, Ron. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to everyone. My details are already in the chat. I'm a little hoarse, so I'm going to start. Thank you. Voices of Freedom. He asked sarcastically if I believed in God, but I did not wish to add to the gravity of his afflictions. Rather would I have his heart smell the bouquet of roses from his sweetheart, or the garland of his gift unencumbered, deep within the recesses of her being, expressing the soul's joy. I would have him watch the magic of spontaneous frivolity and naivety of his children's giggles, feel the affection of a loving dad welling up in his being. Is love not married to the heart of life? I would have him gaze as autumnal leaves cascade, listen to the chirping of songbirds, even as the rose-pink foliage dances and happiness bathes in the beauty of his heart. Each new dawn is a blessing. The soul gives thanks to the source that replenishes its sleep so that it will hear the melody of daybreak, feel the surge of spirit like a vibrant river, preparing it for another day's duty. When he looks at the glory of sunsets, the kaleidoscope of rainbows glimmering over the horizon, he gazes from a luster within, a zillion times more grandiose, nay, timeless, for he was, is, and forever will be that effulgent flame of supernal love. What does it matter whether one's agnostic and does not believe in a pagan Christmas? Just as the Red Sea parted to allow the prophet into the promised land, so to revealed wisdom will show that festivities, east or west, are nothing but a sacred call to sanctity, entreating the soul to harmonize within the interior palace from whence it came. O seeker, be careful with semantics, for words, even the word God, no matter how crucial, may lead us to the depths of Hades, even as it can take us to the pinnacle of a daunting Everest in its full immaculate splendor. All glory to mothers, I would rather savor the sweetness of a child's smile than scholarly eruditions, treasure compassion in my soul than the holy intellect of priests. I would admire an atheist of noble deeds than a judgmental preacher at the pulpit. I was a child fettered in chains, deep down in a lonely cavern, until grace came and I answered her call, guiding me to a beacon in the darkness to find my way out. I pushed through the pain, erasing the veil of clouds covering my inner diamonds until they shone a shimmering sparkle. Now I can see the celestial rays, hear the angelic voices of freedom beating the gongs of the New Jerusalem. My friend, travel the way of soulful sacrifice. In time, love itself will guide you to the unknown silent rhapsody of the nameless one. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for Lantern Carrier.
Hey, yes.
Such beautiful words. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
always.
Merry Christmas to all.
First of all, let me thank you Brother Lantern, for staying up as late as you have to share your incredible work with us. It is always a pleasure to hear your work, as well as Mark Colby. Thank you for coming through with us this evening. And again, shout out RMT for his new space, for doing all the things that Ron does. Listen, you're incredible. That dude is always on point at all turns. Again, make sure you're following Lantern. As Ron had mentioned, right? The cat's across the pond, right? It's a crazy hour, but I've worked with this poet a few times, and his artistry is phenomenal. So I appreciate you, Lantern, for all that you do, for being a contributing mainstay of our community. Thank you very much. All right, coming up next, listen, this cat has come down with us again. I believe he's another cat that has gotten bit. One of the newer mainstays of our community. It is good to see you back in the building. Subject matter, welcome back to Monday Night. We thank you for bringing all the energy that you have brought. Listen, you know what this is like. You know what it is. You are now one of us. Again, I don't have to say that. The community will let you know what it really is. Let the community know where they can find you and plug in, and let you know when you're, not plugging in on Monday night. And the floor is yours. Please bless us with your piece.
All right, like to say, I was born in Jersey. I lived majority of my life in Long Beach, California. My partner, CP, Complicated Passion, you made me aware of the New Rican, so I'm thankful for that. And I could be reached on Facebook at Daryl Lewis, but my Instagram is Subject Matter, the Artist, separated by underbars, and my book is on Amazon, Damn the Pain. So, and that's about it. I'm not aware of the topic, but I got something that was inspired by my grandmother, and she used to always tell me, she was like, everything look good till you ain't good for you, boy. And don't be no dog. If you're gonna be a man, be a man. And she was really adamant about that. So the name of this piece is called Potential Queen. It's not that I don't want to. Any man, woman, or beast that falls prey to your siren stare would crash their Greek vessel in order to adore you. But I am Nubian in search of a queen. And right now, you're not quite ready to do what I do. You're looking for a brother with arched eyebrows and prettier than you. You're looking for a brother with his pants sagging, showing more booty than you. When y'all making love, you're looking at himself in the mirror. He's not even focused on you. You're just a prop in the scene, baby, to make him look good. He's not even focused on you. And that food he's trying to feed you ain't even good enough to make a good number two. See, I'll give you a home-cooked meal, massage your feet, stimulate your pressure points, and crack your toes. That's right. If you my woman, I'm supposed to spoil you. You're not quite ready for a brother to put you on a pedestal and coronate you as his queen. You're still looking for one of them sexy brothers to put robe before hose and walk all over your self-esteem. He's so selfish and insecure, he destroys all your hopes and all your dreams. He sees himself as an individual high scorer. He could never imagine you as an MVP on his championship team. Oh, my sister, my queen, do you really think it's sexy when he disrespects you in front of God and all the world and thinks it's okay to treat you mean? You have to look in the mirror and acknowledge the fact that you was made in God's image too. You need a man who appreciates your very essence, only puts God himself above you. He leaves you little notes throughout the house and in your purse and say, baby, I just want to remind you that I love you. Oh, I understand you're still going through emotional rehabilitation, and you know what's true. A couple of dudes did you dirty now. You figure that's what dudes do. Your female is a gift. Empty boxes are soon smashed, pink ribbons and bows. Now just marinate on that haiku. Your naivety sheepishly reveals itself to me. Your innocence touches the humanity in me. Falling prey to our primal urges is what brings about all this insanity that we see. I unselfishly concede. Don't reach out for them, but reach into you. My ear is here for you 24/7. But right now, just right now, you're not quite ready for what I do. That's that piece. Thank you.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for subject matter.
Very uplifting. Nice to hear that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You may not be quite ready for what I do, but just in case you are, this is what I do. I can't say that, but crack your toes in case you didn't know. Woo! Listen, make sure you're giving that dude a follow. Listen, that is how you really articulate how you love the person you love. And I appreciate that. Truly showing love to your other half. It's a beautiful thing, right? And I appreciate all that energy you bring and that you share with our community. Make sure you're giving subject matter a follow. Appreciate you for plugging in with our community. All right, coming up next. Oh my goodness. Speaking of energy, speaking of power and strength and love and Lao, coming up next is the one and only, our brother all the way from India, Unmesh. Please let us know about your incredible open mic, when it happens, how it goes down. Let us know where we can find you. And please bless our community with another one of your incredible poems.
Hey, Elemental. Hello, Ron. Hello, everyone. I'm Unmesh Mohitkar on Instagram and Facebook. I have got an open mic, Let's Unmesh live every Saturday, 10:30 a.m. New York time. And it's always amazing to be here at the New York, and it feels like home. So let's go. He was happy. Good salary, perfect wife, amazing kids. Sometimes God creates heaven for you on her earth without even asking. He forgot about the world. He was in a cocoon, beautiful island, bathing in scented rain. He forgot about the friends who helped him, friends who were there when times were difficult. He saw them as people who just wanted to help. Idiots who spend so much time helping others. Whenever he wanted, he took their help. When he didn't want it, he brutally ignored them. It worked perfectly for him. He could have written a book, How to Squeeze Every Ounce of Goodness from Friends. It suited him like snake skin on a snake. But there is some power that keeps on creating ebbs and flows in your life. This power loves to bring twist in the tail, because happiness is only there because there is hurt, pain, and sadness. He was ignoring the snakes who were ready to attack his nest when he was away. One dark night, it happened. The clouds grew dark. The nest was attacked. He was in a shock. Somewhere at the back of his mind, he knew the paradise won't last forever. He sat alone in the nest, the noises polluting his thoughts. Even the breeze of fresh air was like a pesticide spray. He remembered the friends whom he never called. He called them. Friends received him as if he has never left. With the help of friends, he was able to stay alive, stay afloat. Now, is he going to forget his friends again? Is he going to keep on dialing his friends? Or history will repeat and once again he will create a cocoon, blocking everything, even his friends. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for the one and only Unmesh.
It's always so great to hear you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. That was very beautiful.
Listen, there is only one Unmesh Mohitkar in the entire world. and we are blessed to have him as a member of our community. Listen, this cat does so much more than just write poems, right? We mentioned it about Mr. Tez also being a farmer. Listen, Unmesh does so many things, cave diving, right? Subway poetry. That dude's amazing. Plug in to Unmesh Mohikar. He is all over the map. Truly appreciate you, Unmesh. Plug into his open mic Saturday morning. Definitely. All right, coming up next is one of the newest mainstays of our community. I remember a few weeks ago, Advocate mentioned, I think you got bit by the bug. And I believe it was last week, even the baby got into the mix. Like, nah, mom, you can't even keep all this to yourself. Like, I need to get a little bit of this. Please unmute yourself, Marty. Welcome back. We appreciate all the energy that you are bringing to our community, a newer mainstay member of our community. Please let the folks know where they can find you, and the floor is yours.
Hey everybody. I guess I could just be found here on Monday nights. I really don't have a social handle, you know. I could just check me out here. So I always get the things late for some reason. Like I get an email at 3 o'clock, my Wi-Fi sucks at my job. So I'm at 5 o'clock, I get like, you know, the email like, oh, the theme tonight is, I'm like, oh, great. And you know, my life is so hectic. It takes me a while to write. So I guess I could share two poems that I wrote previously. It's kind of not really on topic. The first one is called Nature's Time Machine. Awake, asleep, awake, asleep. The wet paint of life is smeared somewhere in between. A blur, the haze of tribulation seemed to cloud my road the way traffic lights sit on every corner of the busy city streets. I stepped outside to take a seat in a lonely, weeping garden lined by a chain-link fence. My sobs are hidden amongst the sirens and sounds of drilling by unlicensed physicians performing cosmetic surgery, contouring Mother Nature right where the sky meets her hip. Anyway, so alone I sat. I strained to hear the gossip from the birds or whispers of secrets in the wind, but nothing could be heard because of the commotion I held within. What a pity, said the sun. Does she not like my heat? Let me take her on a trip. And he turned his light on me. The rays from the sun gently nudged my spirit to wake up. They penetrated my pores and traveled through my ear and blinded my eyes from the inside out. Then I heard it. The sound of the ocean, like a mother soothing her crying baby as he is nestled in her arms, waiting to be fed from her breast. The waves were hitting the pier like drums. I have been here before. A place where the fish bump against your legs as they change direction swiftly while they dance to the salsa. I felt carefree, just as I was that day on this beach. I was transported back to when I stood shoulder deep in clear blue liquid crystal. I hear nothing but laughter and sounds of happiness and joy. I float, I swim, I live. I sat on the sand and looked up at the sun and thanked him for helping me to take this trip. Don't give up your seat on nature's time machine. Always let the sun shine in. So that's one. And then I shared this for the hybrid. It's called The Last Tree. One sentence touched my soul today. I didn't catch it right away. 8 softly spoken words, strong enough to pierce through the anger and resentment that I held. I am in the autumn of my life, he said. I no longer saw him as a man. He became a lonely tree. In a barren field, he stood tall and was looking down, admiring me. All around me swirled his falling leaves, piles of unspoken memories scattered about my feet. I questioned what their stories told, and he said, no, let them die with me. Only share what warms the heart and let the cold stay dead. Silence was all I had to give. My soul had no words to speak. Instead, it ushered me to take a seat. I offered company while his leaves continued to fall around me. I enjoyed his shade because I know that the present easily becomes heartfelt memories sooner than most wish them to be. Thank you, everyone.
Ain't that the truth? Unmute yourself. Give it up for Marty.
Relatable.
Nice job, Marty. I really like those.
It becomes truth far before you are ready, right? So instead of trying to get ready, you got to stay ready. Truly appreciate you, Marty, for all the energy that you have brought to our community, a newer mainstay of our community. Make sure you're giving them a follow. And as they said, they find themselves here Monday night. So make sure you find yourself here on Monday night too to plug into Mari's incredible artistry. We truly, truly appreciate you. All right, coming up next is, listen, this poet has come to us through the Let's Write a Book of Poem workshop series. And every time they have come to this microphone, they have brought a level of sharpness that is befitting, in my opinion, a blacksmith who works on the sharpness of their craft. Please unmute yourself, the one and only Lady Catherine May, and bless us with what you do. Let the people know where they can find you. The floor is yours.
Thank you. I'm on Instagram at Lady Catherine May. A little off topic, but here it is. Somber walks, tossing tears on dormant lawns. Dogs unleashed will dare to reach the odorous stories of each. Lingering talks, stretching the lines of wrinkled yawns. Dogs unleashed will dare to reach the odorous stories of each. The river halts, cradled in the arms of each dying swan. Lingering talks, stretching the lines of wrinkled yawns. The river halts, cradled in the arms of each dying swan. Loose souls on the rocks, at the heels of sorrow's dawn. Lingering talks, stretching the lines of wrinkled yawns. Loose souls on the rocks, at the heels of sorrow's dawn. Somber walks, tossing tears on dormant lawns. Lingering talks, stretching the lines of wrinkled yawns. Thank you.
Listen, unmute yourself, give it up for Catherine.
Beautiful, Catherine, just beautiful.
Oh, it's writing like that just kind of reminds us that, you know, there's benefits to every single aspect of our writing. I mean, to the curvature of the R, to the point of our periods, all those things are very significant when you're delivering such a piece that gives so much more than just letters and pronunciation. Catherine, I appreciate all the effort that you put into what you do. Make sure you're giving Catherine a follow, a mainstay of our community and an incredible contributor to our community at that. Coming up next, another new member of our community. Listen, this poet, every time I've heard this poet, they have brought it, right? And I appreciate that, right? Because our community, it has so many different aspects, right? But this poet has come in and just found their space and found their way to make sure their voice is heard and prominent in what we do. Please welcome Jennifer Velez. Please let the folks know where they can find you online. Please, the floor is yours. Welcome back. Let's get it.
You can find me at princess_homegirl on Instagram, and I'll be here more often on Mondays. um, I'm gonna get into. I have two. One is called Calling. It might be on subject. I'm never on subject. All right. Calling. Crawling out to you from my bed, lint and tobacco in the back of my thighs, the city lights in your hair. I am a random hello and GIF. If only you weren't the wind in motion, pushing dust in a grocery bag, a thank you in the breeze, stomping the streets. Maybe my feet have become pillows my cat rests upon, a marble ashtray by the night's table, a long unnatural about you. I am a plume of smoke inhaled and exhaled. You are the fresh air in my lungs, both the fear and the fear wrapped in a blanket, and the freedom of an unlocked door. That's Calling. And my next one is, thank you. And my next one is, I'm sorry. So my next one is called Tri-State Tears. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Tri-State Tears. A pigeon spoke to me. Nothing elaborate. Just hello, ma'am. Then went back to picking at some old gum. I could be here or there. But it's so stormy in this part of town. Wet train rides, dark tunnel crowds. Beat up sneakers with no socks. A coffee and some change, but it's not enough. I'm worried about getting a job. I have to eat every day. Too much energy burned up in the city that used to love me, beat me, but now smells of Wall Street broken condoms and piss. Triggering token turnstile memories. St. Mark's nightmare. The dark cloud of needles on 2nd Avenue. A small cigarette fire in a cheap motel. And thunderstorms to put it out. I swear it's harder on rainy days. These thoughts hurt the most when the city lights glare off of dirty water sidewalks. Their reflections become bus splash puddles. A concerned junkie stares. Marijuana smoke under the scaffold. A deluge of tri-state tears. That's it. That's it.
Mute yourself. Give it up for Jennifer.
Really great, Jennifer. Great
I was there.
images.
I was there.
Great job.
Great poet.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Listen, she said it takes a thunderstorm to put it out. Woo! Listen, you know what kind of fire you got to conjure for a thunderstorm to put? Yeah. Appreciate you for bringing all that energy. Make sure you're plugging in to Jennifer. Listen, a newer mainstay of our community, but all about the energy. We truly, truly appreciate you. All right, let me shout out a couple of folks before we are down to like our last few poets this evening. Shout out to one and only Poet Talk in the building for coming through. Listen, that dude is always on point. That dude is a genius for real all the time. Shout out to Serene, a PGN member, always plugging into poetry. Appreciate what you do. Melinda Lucas, who is here. Listen, we understand that you got the bug, right? We understand that you're more than likely one of us. We are looking forward to hearing your work whenever you feel comfortable enough to share it with us. We look forward to it. Joan B. in the building. We truly appreciate you representing north of the border. Thank you for sharing your evening with us and sharing your energy. Also, 1/3 of the Jersey Trinity, Terry Rose Jertson in the building, author of the Chameleon Chronicles. You know how Terry does. She's always got poems on point. So as we approach our last 3 poets, I just want to thank every poet who came this evening for all the incredible poetry and artistry that you have shared. And coming up next, listen, there are a few poets in our community, right, that deserve for you to stand up, right? Stand up when you show love to this Low East Sider, because she is one of the only true badasses in our community. Let me tell you, the one and only Jane Spoken Word. Listen, if you don't know this poet, you are missing out on a key part of your life. Please, Jane, let the folks know where they can find you and the words against the machine. Please, the floor is yours.
Hi, everybody. Y'all know me. I'm Jane Spoken Word. You can find me on Instagram and janespokenword.com. That's me. So I don't know what the topic is tonight, but this is some new shit. So here we go. Navigating life's labyrinth on shards of sunlight. Fragmented glow pierce my torso. Wrap me in a cloak, smother me in the weight of darkness. Scream my war cry, stoking the pyre, fanning the fire, risking my all, cradled I fall. Fears unfold, agony uncontrolled, anguish echoed in the wind, misery tattooed beneath my skin, pierced my fading soul within, suffocated by deadly sin. Damaged and deviated among dying dreams, absolute truths lost to moonbeams, plucked and bleeding, intention fleeting, no retreating, no resist. Dismissed, I collapse into the dark mist. I whisper my anguish into the void, only to collapse in the dark shadows of forbidden dreams, buried in the boneyard of despair. Fuck you all. My memories are who I am. Do not weep upon my death. Blissful ignorance flows through my bones. Ashes to ashes, reality flashes. Emptiness fills my eyes. Obscurity is me. Peace, yo.
Badasses, Jane. Unmute yourself and give it.
Yes, that was awesome. So badass.
Thank you.
Oh, Jane.
It's always great to be with the community. You guys rock.
Awesome.
Fire, Jane.
Thank you.
Listen, you don't have to do it all, right? Our community lets you know how much of a badass you are, right? You don't have to drop the mic. They'll come up to the stage and throw that shit for you. Give it. Listen, Jane Spoken Word is an incredible mainstay of our community, always plugging in with such incredible energy. Listen, plug into everything that Jane does. Shout out to Albie on bass, because that cat is incredible. Listen, that tag team right there, whew, listen, if you don't know about Albie and Jay Spoken Word, listen, plug into him, check him out 100%. Thank you, Jane, for plugging in tonight and jumping in on the mic. We truly appreciate you. All right, coming up to the last few folks of the evening. Listen, this next poet, I will always appreciate this poet because they brought the true energy. I can't remember the theme, but they brought so much energy that they even painted their face, right? And that kind of dedication to what we do is beyond just words. It's beyond just writing. It is a true connection to what we do. And I will always truly appreciate that. Please unmute yourself. The one and only Marilee Johnson. We thank you for each and every Monday that you come and you bring your energy. Please let the folks know where they can find you, and the floor is yours.
Thanks, Elemental. I appreciate being on the slate. Just find me here on Mondays. I'm pretty consistently attending, so. Dance or prance or what were their names again? What will I ever do if I can't remember what to call them? Use generalities. Hey, you guys, get up in the sky. I mean, I'm sure you're on automatic pilot by now. You know the drill. You know the way to go. You're getting long in the tooth. I'm old too. I mean, we're old buddies, right? Hey, you in the second row on the left, pull harder. Ah! Stop trying to turn the sleigh over. I didn't know reindeer could giggle. You know, you guys, ever since I selected Rudolph to be part of the team, it feels like there have been simmering tensions just under the surface, and that's been years ago. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Rudolph for a while. We're down to 8 again. Let's hope it doesn't get foggy. Not that it matters. I mean, you guys are great. I'm sure it'll be fine. Let me see. Let me try this again. Dasher. That's one I forgot. No, I'm just practicing Dasher as you were. I mean, I guess you're Dasher. What was that little ditty I used to say? Don't donner around. They'll think you're blitzed. After a tooth fixing, you'll look like a vixen. Get set up with Cupid, have a QP. Zoom off like a comet, whee! No, that doesn't have a familiar ring. Maybe I messed up a word or two. Oh, well, Merry Christmas! Thank you.
Goodness, unmute yourself. Give it up for Melanie.
My soul.
That was amazing, Marilyn. You were awesome.
Mary, I love.
Thank you.
That was great.
Let me tell you how much I appreciate someone's genuine love for this time of year, right? Because people come and go when it comes to holiday cheer and holiday seasons and things like that. But for when someone truly expresses their love for this in the way that we do, it really makes it. It really makes it for me. Thank you, Marilee, for bringing your incredible energy and your incredible artistry to our community, a mainstay of our community. Listen, if you're looking for Marilee, find her here on Monday night. But if not, plug into where she is. Trust me, you will never miss anything that's not incredibly artistic with Marilee. All right, we have come to our last poet of the evening, but let me tell you about the closer. There are folks in our community who just do things. I know the folks in the tri-state area know a name called Mariano Rivera. He is a closer amongst closers. He is a master amongst masters. He is a storm god amongst masters. I want you to know that this cat is also the host of the karaoke after party that drops after Hybrid. The honey trap himself, I call him Senor Fuego, the one and only storm god Paul Colgueso. Unmute yourself, let the community know where they can find you and plug into all that you do, and please bless us with your craft.
Brother, before I start, I just want to say thank you for holding the space in the magnanimous, earth-shaking way that you do, brother to brother, not just storm god to storm god brother. But just seeing you shine and seeing you in your elements is always a fucking joy and an honor. So to every poet who's come before me, to the good night poem to follow me, much love to everybody in the space. I love being home with y'all. It's been a hot ass minute since I rocked on a Monday. It's not going to be on theme, but before I start, Storm God season, we in the motherfucking building, and Goddess season. I'm gonna read 3 short shits because believe it or not, I do those from time to time. These first 2 I wrote in my Mindful Masculinity Workshop series. If you want to follow me at Con Queso, I'm going to be at Dandole this Saturday at the New Rican Poets Cafe, and the second Saturday of January, we're going to be doing karaoke. We coming back. We took a month hiatus. We're coming back with 2000s is the theme. So we're going to be doing artists doing their own original songs, and folks, anybody can cover any song they want from the 2000s. So here's my shit. This is what our dying looks like. Eating disorders have the highest mortality rate of any mental disorder. Igreli, 2019. I placed the gun's chamber in my mouth. Only now trigger be fingernail. Click, click, pull, yet I'm too big to fail. Too frail to falter. Too sterile to father. Too weak to be considered a threat to my own mortality or to once again walk down altering my own genealogy. While studies have shown varying results, patients with eating disorders appear to be between 1.5 and 14 times more likely than same-aged peers to die. Weren't supposed to make it past 25, but joke's on you, I'm still alive. In fact, I turned 35 about 3 weeks ago, outpaced my own Mario Ghost, running laps around the teenage Paul, convinced he'd be dead by 23, Jordan year. Perhaps I'll retire and come back with that 4-5, not to play games with you, but to aim at you. Probably maim and renew my license to hunt, because it's open season on rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, fuck treason. I'm being a bit facetious when I say I want to Elmer Fudd my own Porky Pig snout and buddy. That's all, folks. In a recent comprehensive study of mortality and eating disorders, researchers found that suicide was the most common non-natural cause of death. And I guess in this case, I'm the outstanding statistic, the anomaly, the ratio of E unequal to MC squared, so empty here of any reason to believe I can ever be full. So I make like clay pigeon, pull, close one eye, adjust position, and no citation given. All right, the second piece is called This Is What Our Living Looks Like. I am 9. It is the year following my first violation by porch light. The wallpaper cried, lacquer drips in a waterbed I was drowned in, wanted to off self, but I didn't know why or how. Blackouts came and went after the death of my grandmother. I'd lose bits of time, always wanting to die sometimes because I wanted this, but was ashamed to claim it, to name it, maiming safety, saging the unsafe spaces, unaware that death, it doesn't happen to us, it happens to our family and friends, collapsing through entropy, endless grief as relatives led me down roads where they ushered thighs right into the snare of a bear's trap. That last gasp, and I guess this is what my dying looks like by candlelight, unsure if I'll last the night, unaware. All I had to do is let the light finding awning and awakening. So I tap in through astral flight and tell that budding me that if you can't survive, just try. Right, there's one last piece. It's called Don't. It's a little bit more light. Don't you see us sprouting? Stems like vines rising from cracks, kissing brick facade, trellising, while you make like desiccated limbs and leave? Don't you see us budding as we shorn our thorns, making room for roots to breathe as you stomp indignant feet? Don't you see that we are the roses growing from concrete? Don't you? Oh, you don't worry then. We, the invasive species, will make like the weeds we be and persevere, aliving and thriving. So act like you already know, even if you don't. Thank y'all.
Ooh, come
Such a
through, that's how
treat
you
to
go
hear you
in.
again,
Give it up for
Paul. Such
Paul
a treat.
Nice.
Come back. Please come back.
Mad love.
Okay.
Listen, man. Listen, man. Listen. That dude never misses. He is not human. And this is why, as a storm god, whatever he does, he is always plugged into the true essence of what he writes. Right. It's not a game. We don't play with these things. Right. These things that we deliver in these poems are our true essence of what we feel. Right. We actually give ourselves to these emotions and to these feelings when we write these things. So thank you, Paul, for sharing that true energy with us. All right. I don't know if I'll be able to get over that fingernail turn trigger. Like, I don't know, that's just something that so many people actually have a struggle with, but to be able to do it the way you do it helps people realize that it's more than them. Thank you for what you do. I truly appreciate that. All right, before we get out of here, I got to say thank you to every poet who came and shared their energy with us this evening. Make sure you are checking into neweurekan.org. Listen, for all the upcoming events, make sure you're making a donation if you can. Get some merch, all right? Listen, there's some folks that, listen, make sure you get it, all right, because it's popping. Shout out to Art Defined, who is also doing some things this weekend. Make sure you're plugging into that collaborative workshop with Ray Jane and Paul Conqueso. Listen, it's gonna be incredible. If you've ever been in any one of their workshops, it is an incredible space. Make sure you're plugging into the social media of the cafe, the YouTube, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, if Monday night was not enough, make sure you are plugging into Thunder Lung Thursdays. Like we say, you know, Monday is the circus. Thursday really is therapy. There are some incredible artists and poets going down on Thursday night. Please, you can follow me, elemental.com, take out the T, put in the number 2. I also want to make sure we shout out the executive director, La Bruja, for the Emmy Award that she just got. Make sure you give it all up. Put your fingers in the screen. Make sure you give all the love for La Bruja and that Emmy. Listen, that is big business, all right? One of our own has been to that stage, which means that they are opening doors for the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? Plug into what we do. Make sure you are sharing your energy with the community. Before we check out, I do want to pass it over to our super producer, Mr. RMT. Please let us know what's going on.
Thank you so much, Elemental. I really appreciate it. I just want to say a few quick things. First of all, Merrily, what a funny piece. I am so glad that, you know, Elemental was able to add you to the list. Thank you for the wonderful Christmas card and newsletter I got from you this past Saturday. I will privately reach out to you. Paul, what a treat that we finally have you back. It's been, you know, a minute, as Elemental and Advocate would say. You know, such, yes, please check out Paul's many workshops at Peggy Robles Productions, where he, you know, wrote this very vulnerable piece, you know, about masculinity, and with Ray Jane at Art Defined. And Paul, and you may agree, I guess today must have been one of the only times we saw you with a shirt covering your shoulders and biceps, because usually you would get to see a tank top, you know, and if you, yes, here we go, you know, if you don't believe me, look at all the previous streams, you know, what a segue. Yeah, if you want to find out any of our previous Monday or Thursday online open mics, check out us on social media, Neo Regan Poets Cafe. And yes, Paul will be back with karaoke next month. You know, it felt strange having a hybrid this month without karaoke. So I'm so happy that next month we're back in our element, you know, as we would say, you know, so I'm glad that that is working out. Also, I wanted to say, you know, this theme today, the ding-a-ling, you know, which, you know, Elemental, when we did our little prep meeting, you know, for today, you know, he had to explain to me what that actually was referring to. So leave it up to Advocate to come up with the most amazing themes. And I'm wondering if maybe, you know, Advocate self conveniently, you know, rocked out when he had that theme. I mean, he's like, I'm not, you know, doing, you know, but whoever saw him on Saturday at the hybrid knew that, you know, his voice was going away. And, you know, Elemental and I spoke to Advocate earlier today, and yeah, he really needed to rest his voice and get back, you know, get back to good health, you know, so hopefully he will be back next Monday. On that note, some of you have asked, what are the upcoming themes? I just put it in the chat. Next week, it's Giving Back, you know, which, you know, for the holiday season, December 19th, and December 26th, the naughty list. So if you don't know what this is referring to, hey, just look up the Christmas, holiday, whatever, you know, we're looking forward. But Marty and everyone else, you do not have to be on theme. You know, that's the beauty of Monday nights, that the themes are a guideline, but you can bring whatever else you want to bring, as long as it's a poem. As Elemental said, on Thursdays, you can bring anything else, you know, spoken word, song, comedy, you know, or, you know, but as Merrily showed us today, you can disguise comedy in poetry. Works anyway. Anyway, I wanna everyone asked to unmute, because what a treat that Elemental, every time, you know, when you know, even the best hosts, they need a backup. Not everybody, La Brua can do it all on herself, Advocate can do it herself. So isn't it amazing that when Advocate is under the weather and he needs somebody to fill in, he can rely on elemental.com. So I'm going to ask all of you to unmute, and please give a big round of applause for our guest host.
In the game.
Oh, yeah.
A great host.
Fire, brother. Breaking the matrix.
Gotta go do it.
Yes, so wonderful. Elemental, you are such a pleasure to work with. Every time we do this, it's so seamless. Like I said the last time, we don't even have to prepare anymore because we already know what to do. It's all good. Elemental, I'm gonna shut up. It's all back to you. Thank you so much again for filling in for tonight. Really appreciate you.
Listen, as I mentioned before, to every poet who came before me and after, I truly appreciate your energy. I know I must sound like a broken record, but this is truly how I feel. Like you folks make this thing go. Every ounce of energy that I share with you is because you share with me. And it's a privilege. It's an honor. It's a blessing to be able to host this circus. Listen, I love all of y'all truly, man. Like y'all make this thing work. Really. I really can't say thank you enough. Really to Advocate, make sure you're plugging into Advocate of Words with a Z. Get Better Advocate. Make sure you're plugging into the First Lady. She's gonna be on the Supreme Court. I bullshit you not. Listen, the First Lady of Monday Night is on the move. Shout out to the super producer RMT. Shout out to Jazz, the program's assistant. Forgive me if I got that wrong again. Listen, again, Elemen2al.com is where you can find me. This has been the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I have been your gracious host this evening. I am Elemental. You have heard my voice all this evening. I will be handing it off to one of the newest members of our community to send us home. I will see you all next week. I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a great and glorious week of creativity, peace, and blessings. Take us home, sir.
Working. Is that me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. This is called Too Perfect to Paint. It's Starry Night, Vincent van Gogh's, and it's in the museum in New York, the Museum of Modern Art. If you want to go take a look at it, it's actually a gigantic painting. Wanted all my life to see the Starry Night, Vincent van Gogh's, when his brain melted so far. He painted unseen we see at night, unseen we can only feel. His painting drew me in. I even backed up. My soul flew across the room into spinning clouds, spinning stars. I flew into the town and back up to heaven, flew into the corner of the burning moon, stood up close, didn't even understand the colors, didn't even understand the blank spots, the white raw canvas. Like at certain spots, Vincent van Gogh's heaven was too perfect to paint. Thank you.
Goodness. Thank you, Mark. We truly, truly appreciate you. To all the poets.
Thank you. Appreciate
Have a great evening, folks. Peace.
Good night, everyone. Bye.